Hi everyone, and I'm filming this on Thanksgiving. I just got done filming Chadwich tag. Um so today I'm going to be participating in the Neopagannovember challenge by the Sunshine State Witch. It's a prompt for every day for this month of November. So let's get to it. Prompt 1, light. So Um, light. God, why am I blanking? Darkness is the absence of light. So, um, I like light. The most light that I use are candles. But very rarely. Um, um, yeah. Number 2, candles. I have a storage box that I did a video on, and it has um compartments, like 12 compartments in it, two on each side, or two sides, and one of them has all my candles in it. I use birthday candles, because I can afford birthday candles, and they burn fast. I have almost every color of the rainbow: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. Not necessarily violet, but I have black, silver, and gold, and white. Um, and I have been using them a bit more. Um, I haven't actually dressed a candle before, so and I'm thinking of doing that soon. Um, yeah, I don't really work with herbs because you normally roll a candle in herbs with some sort of like oil or something to attach the herbs, and sometimes crystals, I believe, to a candle. 3, spice. I guess I use cinnamon and pumpkin pie spice, more frequent than other herbs and spices in general, mostly in this season um, of autumn and winter, because I usually make hot chocolate and stuff, and sometimes it's magic infused, sometimes it's not. Um, excuse me. And spice, the hot spices that are usually used to speed up things, to spice things up in a relationship, um, and to speed up spells. 4, I once thought that witches would be more open to information and research and stuff. And I say this because earlier this year, I watched a video by this woman. I don't remember her name, her YouTube channel name, but she reviewed this book, and this was in my previous video that I just filmed. She reviewed this book, and she was super negative about it. Not understanding the book, first of all, and it talks about 3 levels of the soul in this book, and she's like, where does it come from? Everyone knows that there's one part of the soul. I have a long comment on that video that like triggered me, basically. Before he gets into it, he tells you where the belief comes from. Apparently, she did not read it. And it mentions Baphomet, like the psychology of Baphomet. And she's like, he's evil. I've met him. He's evil, talking about like the devil and stuff. But yet, if you look up Baphomet, that figure is not the devil. He is different. He was created within the last, I think, like 150 years or something. And he is a symbol of balance. His two mudras, they are technically called mudras, and I was talking about mudras in my previous video. These mean something. The Latin words mean something. And if I remember correctly, like I am fired up about this because the words are used in alchemy, and I forget exactly what. And he is supposed to represent balance. The flame on his head means like illumination, awakening, and stuff like that. So he is not the devil. He is not evil. He is not Satan. Satan, the devil, Baphomet, and any other devil names are different entities altogether. So, I was surprised seeing in the comments, like half the people were like, "What the hell are you saying? You don't know what you're saying, and you're just getting this for attention, and you're egotistical or whatever," which I don't necessarily believe. But I hope she doesn't really see this. But and the other half is like, "Oh my god, I felt a negative energy when I was passing by this book. I thought it seemed off and whatever." Took me 10 years to figure this out. These people don't know what they're talking about. I've been waiting months to say this. But I wasn't like planning on doing one, but like I wanted to, but this isn't the video. So I once thought that witches would know better, know more, and because that's the mind framework that I come from, is to try and research things I do not understand. And there's another part of I once thought, but I cannot remember what it was. I once thought, and this was in the previous video as well, of me never working with a deity. I remember sitting in our other house because my mom and I moved. Oh, sorry. My battery's low. Ugh. My mom and I moved 10 years ago to a different house. We rented it for a year and came back because of things. And I remember sitting at our dining room table watching, I believe, Dragon Feather 369 video. I believe it was her on the phone or tablet. Not phone. Talking about a deity or deities for a second in one of her videos. And I'm like, I'm not working with a deity because I don't want to. But inside, I felt like Poseidon. I need to work with Poseidon, but I didn't. So I once thought that. But I started to work with deities in 2017. Water. Okay. I have a theory, and I'm going to make a video on this. But water's my favorite element. It's really cool. Poseidon is my main deity, and as you know, he's the god of the sea. But I'm saving all that for a different video. Darkness. I am afraid of the dark, and I've been thinking of working with Erebos. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. He is the Greek personification of darkness. So I'm thinking of working with him to work on my fear of the dark. I've always have been since childhood. In the forest, number 7. Okay, this is really cool. in the forest. So, like 3 weeks ago, I met my new therapist in person. We had an online Zoom call for the first meeting the week prior. um, and in person we talked about like freedom, because it was brought up by me, I believe, for my living situation and stuff. And I told her that my art, drawing and stuff, makes me feel free. And I said, witchcraft makes me feel free, but in a different way. So I said, drawing and art makes me feel free, like the stereotypical running in the fields with their arms open, wearing a shirt that's like flying in the wind, and you're like running and stuff, feeling the breeze on you. That's how art makes me feel free. And then I said, witchcraft, however, makes me feel free in a different way. It makes me feel free like I am walking in a forest on a path with a staff and wearing like a hooded cloak, walking peacefully in the forest. And she's like, wow, that's amazing. That's really cool. And really different. So art makes me feel free, stereotypically free, and witchcraft makes me feel free, as in being in the forest, enjoying myself, being at peace and stuff, being free in the forest, walking. So I thought that was pretty neat. 8, incense. I use incense quite frequently in my practice. I have this normal, like, 10-inch, 12-inch incense sticks. I have pine incense. I use that mostly. The sun, which is back here, and money-making incense, which I have not burned yet. And I think that's all for the long ones. But I found this brand at my, not necessarily local, because it's roughly an hour away, metaphysical store. And it's this brand, I forget what the brand's called, but it's roughly this size, it's like 6 inches. And the whole thing is the incense. So it's not that little piece of wood at the end of normal incense. And I got this in myrrh. I burned that for like offerings to like Zeus or whoever, Hermes and stuff, like when I need their aid in something, or daemons. And that's a video coming up here shortly. So my mom gets irritated by the smell of incense and stuff. Well, smells in general, like from candles and incense and stuff like that. Perfumes are fine, especially on her. But with this brand of smaller incense, she, like, it's like 50-50 roughly between she does not smell it and it burns out completely, or it's like an inch or two away from finishing when she senses it and she tells me to put it out. But the majority of the time I do it outside, along with my candles too. And plus I can't burn candles, or that, because she's on oxygen. But I'm far away with walls and everything. To where I'm mostly okay. And number 9, I'll never forget the failed spell of me wanting to do a communication crystal spell in junior year. Because I had a friend. Was it junior? No. I think it was senior year. Yeah. Because I made a friend in junior year. He was really nice and cool and stuff, and he thought I was really cool. Like, what? That's like the first person I ever thought I was cool. And then we split ways for the summer, and the bus route changed, so we didn't really go to him, to his pickup. And then one day his friends, sat at my table, at lunch. He was there with them, and we talked a little bit. And the next day, when we got home, I programmed and enchanted a turquoise crystal, because turquoise is used for communication. And I had it in my pocket the whole day, and I saw him at the table that we were sitting yesterday, in the story. And I'm like, you gotta go talk to him, or else the spell won't work, because you need to take action to have some spells work. Like, there's no way that I enchant this crystal and he's just going to come up to me and stuff. Like, high probability of him not coming to talk to me. So I just sat the whole time. Didn't work. What a surprise. Like, I knew it wasn't. I was too dang anxious. And I'll never forget of how I came to witchcraft, which is my previous video. 10. Spellcraft. I do spellcraft somewhat frequently. It's really fun and gets my creative juices flowing. Excuse me. And I really like that. Yeah. 11. Divination. I have roughly 15 tarot and oracle decks, like, combined. I'm not that good at it. That's why I prefer oracle decks more. I've tried scrying, which is a form of divination, but it didn't really work out. But that was in high school, so I'm thinking of trying it again. Like, I started off pretty well at reading tarot, which is another video to come up here shortly, so I'm not going to get in depth with it. 12. Music. I don't use music in my practice, my spell work practice, but music is really amazing. I love music. Ever since I was a child, I loved music. I'm definitely eclectic in my music range. 13. Heritage. I think my mom's side of the family was a bit witchy, because my mom told me some years ago, like 7 years ago maybe, that her mom seems like she could astral project, because she would see her family in the house while they were sleeping and stuff. Like, I think it was her aunt or grandma or something meditated and did something. So there's a possibility that my heritage has some magic in it. 14. Fire. It's one of my least favorite elements to be around, like bonfires or whatever. I am fat, chunky, so I get rated fast. But I can see its use in the craft. Hold on. Just checking my battery. Okay, I have plenty of time. I have 16%. That was like 5%. Anyways, fire. Like, fire makes me think of Prometheus from Hellenism and Greek mythology. He is the god who brought fire down from Olympus to the earth. Um, and that has like really symbolic meanings to me. 15 oils. Never used oils, and I'm thinking of trying to use olive oil to dress my candles and try and find uses, healthy uses to use olive oil in my spellcraft. 16 power. I think all of us are born with power, like magical powers as well. So it's like our birthright as a species. And I view Ares, Athena, and Heracles, and Poseidon, and a few others as powerful deities. And interesting enough, Zeus is afraid of Nyx, Chaos, and I think another goddess because they're so powerful in Greek mythology. And he is the most powerful Olympian, so he's afraid of those three goddesses. So yeah, 17 cultural influences. I guess I technically have a cultural influence because of living in America. Christian overtone, like heavy overtones, as you probably know. So dealing with some of that still. And witchcraft being coming up in kind of like the mainstream since I've started. Like it became in the mainstream like a year and a half, or 2 years after I started witchcraft. So there's some influence like shadow work, grounding, and stuff like that I learned because of it gaining in cultural significance in the US. 18 Earth. That's going to be in the same video as the water video because I have a whole theory about it. Earth is Gaia, my mama, as I call her. Poseidon's father figure, Gaia, is my mother figure, and Apollo, he's a friend. So yeah, we are made of earth in a lot of ancient religions, and that is also a part of Greek Hellenism and mythology, and I'll elaborate that in the video. 19, my god / goddess. Like I just said, Poseidon, Gaia, and Apollo. I started working with all three of them in 2017. 2016, literally a minute before the new year of 2017. I wrote down a list of things I want to accomplish for my New Year's resolutions for the next year of 2027, and that's how I started working with the gods. I started off with Poseidon to help me with those things. I put it in a bowl of water. It was a seashell shaped bowl that I still have in the house. And I was kind of enchanted with asking him to help enchant the water and stuff. And I put it in there. And then I went out in front of our house, and at midnight, or like a minute after midnight or whatever, like the fireworks were still going off. I dug a hole, put it in the ground, and I covered it up, and I asked Poseidon to help me, and I believe he helped me achieve the majority of those goals from what I can remember. And then a few months after that, like a month or two, maybe 3 months after that, I was in for like a whole week. Apollo's name popped up consistently. Apollo. And I remember specifically being in the waiting room at my first therapy place that I went to, because it started in late 2016, like November, I think that started. And I remember sitting, twiddling my thumbs, basically, waiting for, because I believe it was the art group that my therapist held, and I just remember out of nowhere, Apollo, 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 repeatedly saying in my head. And I'm like, okay, I'll check you out when I get home. And that's how I started his relationship, or our relationship. And of course, I automatically defaulted to Gaia, because like she's our Earth's mother and stuff like that. So yeah, 20, air. I love air. I don't work with it that much, but I love air. Like, holy crap, give me a good breeze, a cold breeze. That's why I love autumn and winter, because it gets cold here, and the wind. Like today on Thanksgiving, it's windy out, and I've been outside a couple of times. It's like the time added up was like 27 minutes or so. It's cold. I freaking love it. So air is very important to me, especially for being overweight. Like I needed after doing a lot of chores and stuff. But like I said, I don't really use it that much in my practice. But in my video that I'm going to come up with for water and earth, is going to mention some more air aspects. Okay, 21 community. I have a community online here on YouTube, and I love it because I've made friends on YouTube. I keep forgetting to go on Amino, Pagans and Witches Amino. Like, I had a community on that community, because each thing is called community. So I had a community on that, and I had a community on the Hellenic community of Amino, and I haven't been on months. But in person, I don't have a community. The neighbors to our diagonally to our left, if you're standing at looking at our door, the daughter said that the women in her family are witches, Wiccan. And sorry, I hope you didn't hear my dad yelling. And supposedly they are Wiccans, but they're moving out, and I didn't really, because we kind of had bad blood between me and her because of something I don't want to really mention here. And the dad, he's YouTube words, a jerk. Him and my dad are rivals and stuff because he is a jerk. He thinks he knows it all. Like, we have a well, and sometimes it goes out, and he tries to fix it and stuff. But my dad knows how to fix wells and stuff. He was in maintenance for literally before I was born, and I'm 24. And so he knows how to fix things, wells and stuff. And we took care of the well for like 19 years. My parents took the money from our neighbors and stuff to pay the well and stuff. So we know our shit, or they know the shit. And he just thinks he knows it all across the street. So yeah, I wasn't going to start a witchy relationship with her family. 22 herbs. I don't work with herbs, like I said, but my dad last Christmas got me a witchcraft starter kit with this box and a bigger box. That came with some herbs, and I still haven't used it. But I'm planning on doing a video on doing spell jars. Because I haven't done spell jars yet either. So 23 family, like I said, there could be a a hint of magic, occult stuff in my family. My parents are don't really believe in what I believe. Like my mom's more spiritual than Christian, but she still is Christian though. And my dad kind of judges me a little bit for that, but he still buys me things. 24, thankful / gratitude, which is today. I'm thankful for all the people that I've met and I have watched and I have learned from. And I'm thankful for all the friends that I've gained over the years from this. And I'm thankful for the people who are watching this video and my videos. Well, in the past, now, and in the future. Hold on. Sorry, I thought I needed to sneeze, but it went away. So I'm thankful. 25, black. Black does make me think of darkness, which I said I'm scared of, but trying to work on it. Black, is protective. Kind of reminds me of like Hades, Thanatos, shadows, this, like psychological shadows, like Carl Jung and, other psychologists. Shadow work, protective, like I said, that's not the only thing I can think of right now for a correspondence. Black is protection. But yeah. 26, a secret. Ooh, okay, a secret. Okay, what's the secret that I need to tell you? Let's see. That I've bought more books. That I actually have not read yet. And I've been feeling lately, within the last few months, that I haven't been feeling like a witch because I've seen so many videos recently mentioning about spirit work, divination, like I'm not adequate, experienced, and not a witch, like I said, and not crossing the hedge, astral projection. So I haven't been feeling like a witch because of those things, because I don't practice them. But yet you hear a lot of people talking about them. But like I feel like I'm pressured, like mentally. But like I know that I'm still a witch because I do practice magic and witchcraft. But I just don't partake in those specific practices. And like, using herbs, very popular. And like I said, I don't use herbs. So I've just been feeling down and like not a witch because those are very popular practices and elements to the craft. So it's kind of bumming me out. 27, shh, it's taboo. Huh. So something taboo. I think like using bones is taboo. And I'm liking that is becoming more aware and more ingrained into our community that using bones isn't a darker practice. Using it for like divination and charms and stuff, I think it's completely fine. Like I'm not really interested in it, but I am making not strides, but one of my dad's kois last year died, and I thought that fish was really gorgeous, and I buried its body in some dirt and stuff, so it'll decompose, and I haven't dug it up because I'm a little bit afraid, because like I don't want to dig it up and have it partially, decomposed and stuff, because I want to like use the bones and possibly try and do spirit work with it. So I think it needs to be not taboo, and I think that the darker things in witchcraft need to be talked about more, which good thing they are getting more talk about, because I think the darker things are coming from more of a Christian society and viewpoint, something dark when it's not really that dark. So yeah, 28, controversial. Oh God, something controversial. That okay, I got it. A controversial viewpoint is that all these people, New Agers and witches, focus too much on the divine feminine and goddesses. To me, life is trying to find balance, and in order to find balance, you should, I would say, you need to, but should just give leeway and stuff. Find a god or gods if you want, and incorporate the divine masculine, because they do not know that like they practice goddess worship, goddess work, incorporate divine feminine into their lives way more. But yet, how I've done light research on divine feminine and masculine stuff, they do not know that the things that they do are labeled masculine. Like taking action on something is masculine, it's not feminine. So you starting your business is for like starting your business, like Ricky work or whatever you want to do for your business is a masculine thing because you are taking action. So that's my controversial viewpoint. So yeah. Okay. Sorry. Hopefully you didn't hear anything from my mom. Okay, 29, I think. I think that that people, okay, this is also controversial, but I'm going to put it as I think that witchcraft nowadays is watered down, like severely watered down, just like the topic of chakras are extremely watered down because they come from a different religion and viewpoint from the east. So of course they watered it down. I don't know who they is, but authors and stuff watered it down for our Western society and culture to understand. But like people don't know where some things come from. Like our modern view of witchcraft and magic comes from branches of like Neoplatonism, Kabbalah, and other ancient philosophies and works and stuff. People do not know. So when I'm planning on writing a book. So in my book, it's going to mention some of that stuff, like origins of things, and like the etymology of things, and because to me, getting deeper into like the where things come from, the branches and stuff, makes me know deeper. Like my knowledge is deeper, more depth, not really shallow. Because like I said, I believe practices nowadays are pretty shallow in like what they're learning. Okay, number 30, altar or altars. I don't really use altars that much. Like this place is supposed to be an altar. This 3-tiered table is supposed to be an altar. But I don't use it that much. And like I need to actually like clean off the things that you can't see off. And I need to clean it to rearrange things and stuff because it's also supposed to be like a working place. What else? I don't really like to use the word altar for my working space. Because to me, altars are more for deities and stuff. Like I do kind of see witchcraft as a spiritual practice, but I just don't like to call the space that I'm working at doing a spell an altar. I just don't like that. Because to me, it's not. It's a place I'm just working at, doing a spell. So a workspace, like if I'm drawing that, like on my desk, if I were to use it, that would be my workspace, and I can use that desk to do a spell. It's just my desk, my workspace. It's not an altar. But I have had a few altars to Poseidon and Apollo, and at one point, we have a statue of a lady that, for me, looks like Aphrodite, and I have a few things on there, but I haven't touched it in, like, I don't know how long, so I need to clean that off. So yeah. So, that's all for the Neo-Pagan November for me. I hope you enjoyed it, and it'd be awesome if you could join in. This is going to probably be uploaded on the last day of November, or the next Tuesday, Thursday, or Saturday, whenever it is, because I usually upload on one of those 3 days. Have a good day, and today is Thanksgiving, and I hope you have a great Thanksgiving, or had a great Thanksgiving, and I'll see you next time. Bye.